Hi, I'm Melody White, founder of Samdana Yoga and part of Sacred Space Online. And so this little video is coming forward from our Learning to Live with Your Heart Wide Open campaign. And we talked about step one being understanding where we operate from as human beings. And so we have another video and a blog about that, a written section about that. This is step two, if you will, of learning to live with your heart wide open. And I'm sharing the aspect of forgiveness as being that step. And so I came across a couple of quotes that we'll talk about. And this first one is, there is no love. So if we want to operate from love, there is no love without forgiveness, and there is no forgiveness without love. In this lifetime, you can count on being wounded. You can count on that. And you will have pain of the heart, which I think is of a huge magnitude. And in order for us to not carry this wound with us, so if someone does something to me, or I think they do anyway, and I feel wounded from them, I can hold a grudge towards them. I can blame them. I can create an enormous amount of suffering for myself by holding on to the wound I think someone gave me. Whether that's true or not, that's based on my perspective. But so in order for me to live freely, to have love be the big section from which I operate from, I have got to offer forgiveness. Because it's really not even a choice. If you don't, protecting this wound that you carry will drag you to your knees. It will require that you attend. So if you hold a wound, it will require daily attendance. It will require walls to protect it. And as we construct those walls and as we tend this wound daily, it will begin to consume us until all that we focus on is the very thing we hope never happened to us. The very thing we hope does not happen to us again becomes our focus. So offering up forgiveness is really our only option if we want to live in a place of love, and if we want to rid ourselves of our pain, because you can count on whoever you think was your perpetrator, the person that did something to you. They've moved on. You're the one carrying this wound around. And in doing so, you're burdening yourself, and you're actually the one inflicting the suffering on yourself by holding on to it. One of the things that I have come to understand is that until I take the dagger out of the heart of the person I think put it in mine, I will never free myself. So I have to take the dagger out of their heart and offer forgiveness if I hope to have it out of mine. I love this, and that's not an easy thing to do, because some people have endured grave things, way, way graver than I've ever endured. And even the little small things that I have endured have been at times where I thought that death would be an easier option. Just in my mind, I'm just sharing this honesty. And I've not encountered many of the brutal things that can happen to another person that would require them to dig way deeper than I've had to dig to forgive. But I can only speak and talk from those things that I have personally been able to digest and move forward with. So they have felt like massive wounds, and the ones I've carried on, I have years later looked to see that all my suffering came from my inability to let it go, my inability to forgive that person, and even to forgive myself for being in that situation or whatever. So we need to offer forgiveness to others, and we need to offer it to self, and therein lies the space for love. And this second quote up here says, "The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is an attribute of the strong." I don't think truer words have ever been spoken. This is by Mahatma Gandhi. And it's so true. When you're wounded and that pain feels great, to forgive in that situation takes a very strong person. And I love how he puts the weak can never forgive. They hold on to it. And I almost think that the weakness comes from holding on to it, meaning it cripples them. I've watched the lack of forgiveness in my own life cripple me, and the freeing that it can be and the strength that it requires of me or of one to forgive. But really and truly, it's a simple thing, but not always an easy one. So I want to just share this message that if you're carrying around a wound from the past, let it go before it drags you to your knees. Let it go before you endure years and years of suffering. Offer up that forgiveness to whoever you think inflicted something upon you, and offer it up to yourself. And may we live from a wider space in our heart. May we learn to hold our hearts wide open. Thank you so much for tuning in with this video, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.